back, everybody, to Outliers TV. We're here with Maribeth Sublette, a teacher who I was fortunate enough to witness in her classroom and watch her interact with her students, and then was fortunately able to steal her and have her come and work with me on the Outlier series. Okay, Maribeth, we've been talking about you and your role as a teacher. Give us an idea of what is it like to start off as a teacher? So you're right out of college, you go into your first day of classroom, must be terrifying, but what is that like?
It is, it's overwhelming. I can't explain to you the sense of just sheer terror. I remember my very first class walking in through the door, and I had my hands behind me, not because I thought it looked professional, but because my hands were shaking so incredibly badly that I couldn't contain myself. I was so excited. I was so ready to teach and ready to learn from my students. But nothing really can prepare a teacher for that first year of teaching.
60 eyes staring at you, wondering your next move.
Well, and I really didn't necessarily know how to plan, because in student teaching, I was there first semester and I did all of the plans, I did everything. But in order to know how a school year goes, you really just have to experience it from August to May, and figuring out how to do that was a challenge.
So what did you believe? Now, I know in medicine this held true for me, but what did you believe at the beginning of your career that as time went on, you're like, ooh, that was kind of a naive thing to believe?
Yeah, I have a few of those. One that really sticks out to me is I thought that if I treated my students like respectable intellectual adults, that's how they would act.
Now, they were teenagers, as you know.
Yeah, 15 and 16-year-olds. And I thought, if I just treat them the way that I want them to act, that's how things will be. And that's not necessarily how things worked out.
Shut up, no way.
I know. Super naive, you did say.
Yeah. Well, naivete is great when you start.
It is, and to be honest, at the end of my career, once I put some really solid procedures and rules down to where the things that I held very close to my heart still were able to work through in the classroom, my students did act like respectable intellectual adults, but I made sure that I knew how to set that up. I didn't just expect it without doing something in order for that process to take place.
You set it at the beginning.
Exactly.
So what are the common misconceptions? So you grow up and you want to be a teacher, and so just in general, what are the misconceptions that people have about teachers or the teaching career?
I alluded to one before with, so many people think, God, being a teacher would be great. You have the summers off, you work from 8 to 3, and you have all these holidays. And I don't think that people realize how hard teachers work. My very first day of school, I was coaching, which is something I would not do again had I had the opportunity to do it over. But I got to school at 7, and I didn't get home until 10:30 at night.
That was your first day?
10:30, my first day. And I walked through the door and I thought, my God, what did I do to myself? And I don't think people realize just the time and passion that goes into really setting up a classroom.
I suppose if you're really good at it, it takes a tremendous amount of time, a lot of hours before and after.
It does. That prep time is just so crucial. So that was one misconception. There's so many. There's so many.
That was the largest one?
That was a large one. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We're here on Outliers TV with Maribeth Sublette. Thanks for watching.